everyone, welcome back to another video here at the Paper Addict. It has been 2 months since my last video, which sounds like a long time, but my video before that, it was 9 months between videos. So I'm doing better and I'm happy to be back. This layout is a single page layout, which is mostly what I do. If you're new here, I do sprinkle a couple double pages in, but I'm mostly a single page gal. And it's some photos that we snapped during I think it was Memorial Day lunch or early dinner we had with my best friend and her family. And I will be doing a companion layout to this for the pictures of our son. We were sitting outside, and it was one of those times where I went, wow, he really looks different. He is a teenager now. So he's getting his own companion page to this. I really tried to use that green and blue paper as a background, but I just could not do it. I always seem to end up with black or white. Very occasionally I'll throw a color in, but usually it ends up being white. My sketch for this is from Scrapbook. You can find them on Facebook. They are probably the number one place I go to look for sketches. They organize them beautifully on Facebook. If you go to media and albums, the sketch is always the cover page. So it's very easy to look through and find a sketch that you like. And then if you go into the album, there is everyone's inspiration in there. So I'll leave a link below to their group. Please be sure to go check them out. Lots of great inspiration over there. So this is a collection from Coco Vanilla. It was the Happiness collection. I got this through a kit club that is no longer in service, so I don't have the entire kit, but I'm making do with what I have. I ended up cutting that dot piece shorter than I liked when I put the 6x8 on top of it. The way I fix that is I just cut another strip. I lined up the dots between where I had originally cut and the new strip, and in person, it's not particularly noticeable. Yeah, I'm looking at it now, and honestly, unless you knew it was there, you really would not know that I had goofed. So I'm going to ink the edges of this paper in a color that's pretty similar to what the paper is by Tim Holtz. I like to do this because I am not a huge fan in most cases of white cord paper. So I don't like to be able to see that when I'm resting one page or layering one page on top of another. So I was going to put these photos side by side, but then realized the sketch has them kind of skewed and overlapped. So I end up putting them on opposite ends of the paper and cutting it apart. I will say I have the Epson PictureMate, what is that, PM 400? And I don't know if I'm thinking it's more my cutting than the printer, but I never, when I cut the borders off, have a straight photo. So I am always adjusting. This is my Tim Holtz mini guillotine trimmer. I wish I could put everything through this thing. I have the big one, and I am not good at using it, but that little one, I really enjoy. So I did cut a bunch of this video out. It was my first layout in a while, and I didn't feel like you needed to watch. Now this is sped up 3 times, so a minute or 3 minutes or 8 minutes of me fussing around with certain things. Like, you do not need to see that long for me cutting fun foam to pop my pictures up on, or I swear it took me 30 minutes to get the embellishments right on this layout. And they're still not perfect. They're done. The page is documented. It's not horrible, but you didn't need to sit through 30 minutes of me picking embellishments. So I'm going to tuck this piece under here after I punch it out. I'm using a different punch than normal. It's still scallop-esque, but it has the little dots in it. I thought it was fun. And I was able to use just a single piece and cut it in half and tuck it under there. One of the things, or one of the tools that I keep right near my desk at all times is my little Cricut or Silhouette. I think mine's a Cricut brand, but I know Silhouette makes one as well. Spatula. And I find that comes in handy for a lot of different things. Helping pull up a photo if you placed it wrong and there's already adhesive down. Or in this case, I use it to loosen up the edge to be able to tuck these under. I did try to place it right up against, and I did not like that you could see the seam. I'm going to use my tonic glue here to put it down. This is my favorite liquid glue. You need very, very little to get it to stick nicely. And it's $1.99 a bottle, at least the last time I looked. It is not the Nuvo one that is made by Tonic. It's the Tonic one. It's in a white and orange bottle. I will say I do need to find a better tip, though. I put it in this needle nose tip, and it is a beast to get out of there. That tip clogs. You'll see later in the video when I try to put my fun foam picture down, that between using it right here to attach the border and putting my photo down, it had clogged already and I needed to use a needle. So I do need to find another tip for that. If you have any suggestions, I'd be happy to hear it. So now I'm going to fuss around with these embellishments. There are several tassels in this package, and I don't know if that's just not my thing or I never can figure out how to make them look nice. If you use them frequently, have any tips, send them on over so that I can use up some of the embellishments that don't just end up sitting in my package. I'm actually considering, I saw Heather, her last name escapes me at the moment. Balzer, Balzer, I believe. She's doing a series called Collection Cleanout. And one of the ideas I got from her that I'm really considering doing is going through, say I use this collection as an example, and going, I don't use tassels, and putting that in a pile to get rid of or donate, or I will never use that particular piece of paper. That way she's not storing things she's not going to use, and I'm really considering this summer going through and doing that. I don't know about you, but most of us crafty types, we have a lot more than we could ever use, and this would help pare some of that down and give me a new perspective or a new look at each collection. So those butterflies, the pink ones you saw me using, were a principle from Tracy Reed. There was supposed to be a pink butterfly in this package, but maybe I already used that one. So I thought maybe I could make some of her pink butterflies work, but they just weren't the right color. So like I said, I did cut some of this out because you didn't need 30 minutes of me fussing with those embellishments to end up here. I used the watering can, which I was surprised at. That's not something I would normally reach for, but it just looked right there, and we were outside, so A watering can of flowers for outside? There you go. I'm going to use thankful as my title, just thankful for our time together, thankful for my husband and my daughter. One thing you will not see on this video, and probably most of my videos if you are new here, is journaling. That is probably my least favorite part of the scrapbook process. So I tend to wait till I have a bunch of layouts to do, and I will do batch journaling. Just like I'll put, like this layout does not immediately go in an album. I have a storage box and I wait till that's full, and then I put them all away. I do the same thing with my journaling. I'll wait till I have several layouts to do. It's also partially because I've taken to printing my journaling, and I don't like to waste paper, so I try to get as many of them print and cut all at the same time. So embellishments going down, and then the next thing I'm going to do is get out my Nouveau drops. You'll see I have quite the collection of them. I probably should go through. I've had them for a very long time, and I should make sure that some of them aren't dried out, like the ones I bought first, because I don't use them for anything mixed media. I use them as enamel dots, so my bottles last quite a while. But I end up going with black to pull that in with my title, and I'm going to use them as a little trail for my butterfly. This one I could probably use to thin out a little bit. It was very thick in the bottle, and I was surprised because black is probably the color that I use the most. I'm going to finish with some gold splatters. I am still nursing my bottle of Heidi Swapp Gold Mist, but since I just use it for splatters and not through the nozzle, I am nursing the bottle. So that's all for this layout, guys. There'll be a still photo at the end. And cross your fingers, I have a new tripod, much easier to use, much easier to set up. And hopefully that means I will be back more frequently. And leave me a comment down below. Would love to know what glue bottles you're using and what you are working on currently. And if you have any plans for what's coming up for you, your scrapping adventures. Thanks so much, guys, and I will catch you next time. Bye.